What's in a name? For these celebs, it's all about personal branding. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 ridiculous celebrity name changes. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're focusing on pop culture figures that decided to reinvent themselves with revised personal monikers. Number 10. Yasiin Bey, Mos Def.
Pull up to your spot on low, shine brighter than all of the cats that got on glow.
Born Dante Terrell Smith, this Brooklyn native emerged in the 90s East Coast hip-hop scene with a street-smart moniker Mos Def. But 13 years after releasing his iconic collaboration with Talib Kweli, declaratively entitled Mos Def and Talib Kweli are Black Star, he officially retired his rap name and openly adopted the name Yasiin Bey.
It represents a person that is me, but it's not a person.
The MC had reportedly been using Yasiin for years with family, but made it public because he'd apparently gone as far as he could with Mos Def. Though Yasiin may better represent his Muslim faith, longtime fans will most definitely always refer to him as Mos Def.
The thing that I'm most focused on is that people take their time to listen to what I have to say.
Number 9. Big Baby Jesus, Old Dirty Bastard.
Here I go. Flow. Jack, you stole, can never get this now.
As a member of the iconic hip-hop group Wu-Tang Clan, this rapper shed his birth name, Russell Jones, for a more descriptive stage name. But then ODB went solo in 1995, and his popular moniker needed an upgrade. Well, at least that seems to have been the logic. The gritty MC unveiled his new name, Big Baby Jesus, to Vibe magazine's late-night talk show in 1998. Further explaining to MTV that he'd, quote, always been Jesus. Sadly, Big Baby Jesus passed away 6 years later at age 35, and remains better known by his original Wu-Tang nickname, a moniker not quite as ridiculous as Big Baby Jesus. Then again, he'd also gone by Dirt McGirt, so, you know, whichever you prefer.
Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away.
Number 8. Snoop Lion, Snoop Dogg.
So if you know a lot of love with secret, but you like up, let me be a better day if you try and get up right to love.
Snoop Dogg is a bona fide pop culture icon. He's been in the game so long, in fact, that he seemingly outgrew the moniker Snoop Dogg. In 2012, the man born Cortazar Calvin Broadus Jr. experienced a Jamaican epiphany and embraced a new way of thinking, as well as a more committed Rastafarian lifestyle. A priest reportedly gave Snoop his Lion nickname, which he quickly incorporated into his personal brand.
I felt like I've always been Rastafari. I just didn't have my third eye open, but it's wide open right now.
In 2013, the rechristened Snoop Lion dropped the appropriately titled album Reincarnated, along with a documentary of the same name. These days, however, the name seems more like an alter ego than anything else, as Snoop Doggy Dogg remains Snoop Dogg.
See, my game is outrageous. I got it to the crib and exchanged some love faces. But it wasn't no need for me to rush the bus one, cause I wanted her to have an eruption.
Number 7. Engelbert Humperdinck, Arnold George Jerry Dorsey.
So I sing you to sleep after the loving with a song I just wrote.
In pop culture, some monikers are brand-specific and accessible. In the mid-60s, however, an English musician defied the norm by looking to a German composer for inspiration. That's how Arnold George Dorsey, also known as Jerry Dorsey, became Engelbert Humperdinck.
No, I do. I check in under Arnold George. That's my name, my real name. I don't have Arnold's muscles, but I have other things.
The name isn't quite sexy per se, but it jump-started the singer's career, as he reached number 1 on the UK charts in 1967, stealing the spot from a little group known as the Beatles. Mr. Humperdinck remains a relevant name decades later, so he must have done something right.
And I will always want her near.
Number 6. Cat Stevens and Yusuf Islam, Stephen Demetre Georgiou.
There's so much you have to know. Find a girl, settle down.
This singer-songwriter also pulled an Engelbert Humperdinck in the mid-60s and strayed from his birth name, Stephen Demetre Georgiou, in favor of something with a little more pizzazz. That's when Cat Stevens emerged on the London music scene, with his new name offering greater commercial appeal. especially for a man with such talent. Of course, Cat later converted to Islam in 1977, changing his name to Yusuf Islam early the next year, and moving on from the industry as a whole for many decades.
For a while, I was trying to get as far away from my past as possible.
In fact, it wasn't until 2006 that he began releasing material under this new name. But many still view him as Cat Stevens, the man with the rich, evocative voice and the easy-to-remember stage name.
Whatever they say, whatever they do, I'll always love you.
Number 5. Vin Diesel, Mark Sinclair.
That's how it keeps it off the grid.
These days, Vin Diesel feels like a perfect name for one of cinema's great action stars. It suits the brawny nature of the man born Mark Sinclair. In the 80s, though, he was just a teenage nightclub bouncer that needed a cool name. And so, he combined his stepfather's last name, Vincent, with a nickname earned for his energy. Believe it or not, it would still be some time before he started earning consistent Hollywood gigs, despite an uncredited cameo in the 1990 Robert De Niro film Awakenings. 8 years later, however, the Vin Diesel brand took off with Saving Private Ryan, proving that talent can rise above a ridiculous nickname.
Oh, you're good. But not that good.
Number 4. Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson.
And so, which is why I keep trying to explain how my transition really wasn't that difficult, because I wasn't living crazy when I was making it.
Technically, when Chad Johnson changed his name to a Spanish translation of the number on his jersey, it should have been Ochocinco, but apparently Ochocinco or 85 was close enough for him. Incorrect though the translation may have been, Johnson committed, legally changing his name in 2008. The next year, he announced another intended name change, this time to the Japanese translation, Hachi-Go, but ultimately never followed through. Though the name change made him somewhat of a pop culture icon, he decided to revert back to his original name when he made the move to the Miami Dolphins in 2012, retiring the silly moniker in the process. Number 3. Peedi Peedi, Puff Daddy, also known as Sean Combs.
For some reason, I've been looking for meetings. There are no name-changing meetings.
In 1993, a young entrepreneur named Sean Combs established Bad Boy Entertainment and signed a young lyricist known as the Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, shit!
4 years later, Biggie's career was tragically cut short in Los Angeles, while Puff Daddy became a popular figure within pop culture. By 2001, however, Puffy changed his name again, going with the more stylistic P. Diddy.
What am I supposed to do when the club lights come on? It's easy to be Puff, but it's harder to be Sean.
As the man with many names has explained, the changes are more about a personal vibe than anything else. In fact, Puff Daddy sometimes prefers Diddy when he's feeling a certain type of way.
So I wake up, if I wake up and I'm feeling like Puff Daddy, that's what I am.
What are you feeling like today, right now?
I mean, most of the time I feel like I'm Puff.
Number 2. Love symbol, Prince.
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life.
This late icon stunned audiences with his remarkable talent and performance bravado. That's what made Prince so special, as he could talk the talk and walk the walk. In 1993, however, the man born Prince Rogers Nelson made a bizarre statement by changing his name to a symbol, a literal symbol. While the name change seemed pretentious, it was actually a business move to irritate Warner Brothers, as Prince had come into conflict with his label. So, when the artist formerly known as Prince fulfilled his contractual obligations, he went back to his original stage name for the rest of his career, leaving the moniker drama behind. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Yeah, what's her name, dear?
She doesn't want me to tell you.
This next run, watch how I get to this rock. Learned the game and now I think I got it all figured out. Meanwhile, back at the spot with this beat on repeat. And some cheeks in the back room sleep. Keep the compact heat.
Number 1. Metta World Peace, Ron Artest.
I got Winnie. You don't seem excited.
Early in his NBA career, this star made headlines for his immaculate defense. Ron Artest also made the news for his role in 2004's Malice at the Palace, a fierce fight in which he actually brawled with fans.
Now Artest has jumped over the scorer's table and is trying to get down to the bench. Artest is in the stands.
But as Ron got older and managed to sustain a successful basketball career, he became more at peace with himself and apparently the world around him. That's what prompted a legal name change to Metta World Peace in 2011, a move the athlete hoped would inspire others.
I don't know why I changed my name.
We can't answer that for you.
Yeah.
Strange as the decision may have seemed, Metta World Peace has managed to stay out of trouble and continues to embrace his ambitious, yet undeniably ridiculous name change.
Digging for it, gets it. World Peace again! Yes, sir!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.